All right, we're going to talk about the 3 ways in which you as a team leader need to pay yourself. When I work with team leaders in structuring their financials, this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see. And if you make this mistake, you end up working for free. What I mean by that is you end up doing deals for your team. You end up supporting the business through your personal production. You can't work for free. Stop working for free. And you're doing that if you're a team leader heavy in production and making less money in profit and your salary total than you did in production. So for example, let's say you're a team leader that did $1 million in total GCI as a team, right? You and your agents' total top line GCI was $1 million. But you did $600,000 of that million from your own personal production, meaning your team did 400,000. Let's say you had 4 buyers agents and they each did 100,000 each. So 600 from you, 100 each from them, 4 of them, 400,000 equals $1 million total in top line revenue. If you're in a situation like that, and when you look at your profit and loss statement and it shows that you made, let's say, 300,000 in profit and you paid yourself 100,000 in salary, let's say, that's $400,000 in net profit and owner pay. Basically, $400,000 in money that you didn't spend on either the agents, your broker, or expenses in your business. That's like money that you had left total. And it was broken into profit and your salary as the owner. Well, your company made less money for you than you did in your own personal production. In other words, you lost money on your team. In other words, your business, if we separate the business from your personal production, you are in that scenario, you're literally paying hundreds of thousands of dollars, in this case, 200 grand, to pay for your team to do production. That's a problem. That's a problem. In this scenario, that team leader would have been far better off staying in production as a high-level agent, doing that $600,000 in production, maybe paying an admin and some people, some staff people, 100 grand of that and a little bit of marketing or whatever they got to spend, and netted $500,000 and not have the stress of a team, not have the annoyance of agents, you know, the drama that comes with that, which we all know, right? From years of building a real estate team, I experienced it too. And it just comes with the territory. But if you're not profiting and making more money than you did when you were in production, then it's not worth it. And it tells me your economic model is off. So to solve that, one of the things we need to do is start paying yourself the right ways. And there are 3 ways in which we need to pay ourselves. I'm going to share my screen. Number 1, let's just start with number 1. Where does the green need to come from? Number 1, your production. So you need to pay yourself, yourself the same split as the agent. So if you have a team member on your team that gets, let's say, 40% for a deal because it was a company generated lead, but the agent took that lead and converted that into a deal, and let's say you paid them 40%. If you did that, you need to pay yourself 40% as well. Pay yourself the same split as you would in any agent on your team. So consider yourself an agent. So pay yourself the same split. Okay. So really, probably what I should title this one as is pay yourself like an agent. And I'll just put same split. Pay that money to yourself. Literally transfer it on closing. 40% would go into your personal bank account. 60% would stay in the business. Do not put 100% into the business. That is your money. Do not work for free. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2 is going to be a salary. You are in a position in your business. You need to pay yourself a salary as the team leader, right? So CEO role. CEO/team leader role. You need to pay yourself a salary. And there's 2 reasons you do this. The majority of the reason people pay themselves a salary is to keep the IRS happy. Why? Because you're going to pay different taxes, AKA more, when on your salary dollars. than you would if you took 100% profit distribution. So a tax strategist might say, well, don't do that. Pay yourself the least amount in salary you can to keep the IRS happy. And then the rest should go to profit because you're going to pay less taxes. From a tax perspective and a tax strategy, true. But you got to understand, taxes are not evil. This is not always about paying the least amount in taxes. Now, it definitely should be a priority wherever you can. But at the same time, it's about running your business like a business. If you were to have to replace yourself in that CEO team leader role, what would you have to pay someone else in order to do that? That's the salary you need to pay yourself there. Why? Also because you deserve it. Your family deserves it. You're working in that role. Now, you may say, well, right now I'm working part-time in that role. Okay, then pay yourself what a part-time person would get paid. Pay yourself half of what a full-time person in that role would get. It doesn't matter, but pay yourself a market-based wage for the amount of time and effort you're putting into that role. And then finally, number 3 is profit. And this is going to come in the form of quarterly distributions, right? At the end of the quarter, you're going to look at how much profit you have, and you're going to pay yourself some of that. Now, I'm a believer in the system of profit first. If you haven't read that book by Mike Michalowicz, you should read it. You should implement that in your business. In that scenario, they recommend, and I believe you should be putting 50% of that profit that came in from that last quarter in your personal account, and that's your pay. And the other 50% should stay in the business to build, reserves and rainy day funds and those types of things. You should not just reinvest that in the business, because then it's not profit. Then you just cut your profit in half. You should be putting that aside. But at least half of that should be coming to you as the owner and the owner of the business, right? So really think about it this way. There are 3 roles. When you're a team leader in production, you are in 3 roles. So you should get paid for all 3 roles. The first role, I'll put these in pink, is the agent role. If you are in production, pay yourself like an agent because you're in the agent role. If you are the team leader, you need to pay yourself like the team leader. And then down here, it's going to be that you're paying yourself as an owner. Now, if there are multiple owners, like other businesses that are public, that have thousands of owners, they all own stock in the business, they all get a piece of that profit, right? And so imagine a business that was public, that sold shares, and at the end of the quarter, they didn't pay out profit distributions. That's a problem. Those owners, those stockholders, it would be illegal. They have to pay that out. You need to treat yourself the same. In most cases, you're the only owner for most of you. Some of you have partners, then you have multiple owners. But if you're the only owner, you need to pay yourself just like you are owning all the stock in that business, and you owe it to yourself. That CEO, team leader, number 2, owes it to the stockholders, you, the owner, to be paid a quarterly profit distribution. So if you do it this way, you're going to see how healthy your business actually is. And it's going to force you to limit your spending. You're not going to be able to just spend like crazy, because here's what most of you do that I find. Most of you pay yourself salary of some kind. You don't pay yourself like an agent. So 100% of the money that you do on your deals goes into the business, and you spend it like mad. Because why? Because you have it in the bank account. So you think you can spend it. And a lot of you, I would say 50% of you, end up paying yourself profit distributions. It's usually at random times when you need the money, you just pull it out of the business. Not the right way to do it. You need to be doing it quarterly, and you need to be doing, that regularly. And all of you need to be doing that, right? If you have profit in your business. If you don't have profit in your business, then you need to we'll help you figure it out. Where is that money going, and what do you need to do? But these are the 3 correct ways to pay yourself as an agent or as a team leader in your business, so that you can avoid basically becoming a charity where all of the money that you do from your production goes to your agents. So I was in this situation way back in 2010 when I was building my team, first getting it started and figuring it out. And it was awful. I remember looking down on the P&L saying, I made less money, way less money than I did in my own personal production. What am I doing? My family deserves better than this. So pay yourself these 3 ways, and you'll avoid that mistake as well. If you need help, here's how we can help you. We can do your books, right? We can help bring clarity to your books. Why would you hire us? Because we're real estate specific. We only work with real estate teams and agents and brokerages. And why do we do that? Because we did it ourselves. We built a very successful real estate team here in Minnesota that allowed me to exit production and be highly profitable. We can help you do the same. And we're going to do that through very good bookkeeping. And we're going to help you understand what's going on in your business. So if we can help, reach out, go to simple-numbers.com. Thanks. Bye-bye.